This is a CycleOps Fluid 2 bike trainer. Let's get at it. So why did I pick up a bike trainer? Well, it's only really two main reasons, and they're probably two reasons that you guys would be able to relate to. The first is weather, and the second is time. I live in Pittsburgh. A lot of the folks here in the Northeast, Midwest, or wherever that it gets cold, it's not so nice to be riding in ice and snow all the time. And when I mean all the time, I'm really talking about any time between November and March. 3 years ago, it was still snowing here in April. So this year, I really decided to get a trainer. I really wanted to make sure that my fitness would keep in check through the winter, and this would help me do that. And the second thing is time. I have a full-time job. I work anywhere between 8 to 10 hours a day, even more sometimes. I'm on email all the time. Actually, the only time that I get to work out, to cross-train or whatever, is at 4:45 in the morning during the weekdays. So, certainly feel my pain there. I make sure to ride as much as I can outdoors in the weekends, but like I said before, the weekends are shot sometimes because of weather. So that's another really good reason on getting a bike trainer. The CycleOps Fluid 2 trainer you could get on Amazon right now for about $279. This riser block that you put to the front of the bike was $25, and then I also got this trainer skewer. This, when you buy this for $279, actually comes with one, so do not buy this. I kind of fell into that trick where you buy this, this, and this for, $315. You really don't need this. I'm just keeping this for now just because, hey, who still uses a skewer, right? Anyway, the main reason for switching out the skewer is because this is the skewer that my bike came with. This is metal, which is great, and then this is plastic. What's going to happen is this. When you put it into these two metal connections, I guess, that plastic on metal is just going to eat away, especially when your bike is going to be on here and it's going to be secured by these. You want them to be metal skewers, okay? So as far as assembly is concerned, there's only really two main parts of the CycleOps Fluid 2. This piece right here and the flywheel piece. This flywheel piece is connected by a bolt and a screw down here. You'll need a socket wrench to be able to kind of go through that. And then also, you kind of just need to screw this in with a J-hook that's in here. Aside from that, you also have this piece and this piece. You just kind of put it in, and really what this handles is really what kind of locks the bike in place, and it kind of puts it in here and then it locks it in. Other features worth noting here is that on the bottom leg area, this and on the other side, it actually screws in and out and allows you to kind of fine-tune the leveling of the CycleOps Fluid 2. The second, these legs kind of fold in, just like this one, and as you can see, it gets a lot smaller for easier storage. This is how you mount your bike to the trainer. You have to make sure that this is unscrewed as much as possible to give you as much room. This is how you mount the rear wheel onto the trainer. Make sure this is open. Mount this side first, the stationary side. See how that goes in? Put the bolt kind of like a rifle. in there. You have to make sure that your bike is straight. Once that's up, it's basically on there. And now is to make sure the flywheel is in contact with the tire. And the way that this works is you keep on screwing it. This is adding more and more resistance, by the way. Until it clicks. Now that you have the rear wheel mounted up, I'm going to show you how this works. This is basically 3 different heights, giving you 3 different angles. Now this is advertised as a climbing block, but dude, all it really does is that it gives you a little bit of a different angle, and I really wouldn't call it a climbing angle. Let me show you why. This is the highest setting. If I put this under the front wheel, if you look at the bike, would you really call that climbing? I mean, it's a little bit of a climb, but it really isn't. Anyway, for the most part, it really just levels out the bike. Alright, so now that the bike is set up, I want you to also be aware on the actual noise of the bike. The reason that I got the Fluid 2 is supposedly that it was pretty silent. And it certainly is, but I would not call it noiseless. Certainly living in New York City, or those that, Chicago, any metropolitan area where you're literally living right on top of each other, I still would not recommend having this trainer unless you have cement floors. So something to note. So this is what you should expect this trainer to sound like. It's actually pretty stable as well. And I can also tell you that the resistance is certainly enough to definitely give you a good workout. You'll also notice that the flywheel kept on going. Whew! That actually gives you a little bit of a better road feel. In addition, this flywheel, if you'll notice it, it actually looks like a fan. This cools this off, but surprisingly, it actually cools your back off as well. For the most part, I train base miles on this rig. Really what that means is that I make sure I have my heart monitor on, and I work on zone 2 and zone 3 heart rate zones. And then from there, I kind of just rig up my tripod right there. I put my iPhone or my iPad here, and I hook them up to these Bluetooth headphones, and I basically just watch YouTube. For the most part, I've had this thing for about 2 months now, and I have to tell you, for those 2 reasons of whether it's raining, snowy, icy, and time, this thing has been invaluable to me. And now that it's going to be the dead of winter, it definitely is going to be even more so. For those of you guys looking for a last-minute gift, you can certainly get this on Amazon, especially through Prime. For those loved ones that want to train through the winter, it's a really good investment. It's something that you're going to always have. And the best part too, it works on all different bikes. It works with 700cc wheel sizes, 29ers, 26, 27.5. The only thing that you would have to be aware of is that you would probably want a smooth tread and not a knobby one, because you'll end up really ruining those tires. But aside from that, I really hope you liked this video. I hope it was informative. Share it, like it, certainly comment. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Pittsburgh Active. I'll see you guys later. So one last thing to mention, because we're having a stationary bike review anyway. You're really gonna find out when you do this how much you like your bike seat. This came with my BMC Grand Fondo 2. Is not so good. If you guys have a great recommendation for a gravel grinder or road bike saddle, please let me know. Really would help. You guys let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much. This is my newest bike. We're not going to do the normal bike video. Today is going to be more of a gear walkthrough and the reasons why I chose every single part on this bike along with this bike itself. What you see here are two solid triangles connected by the Switch Infinity link. The crown that you see here is actually the same piece as the entire stereo tube. This does not require any air tokens. So I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but guys, I really hate the RockShox Reverb seat post.